Dear Twin Flame souls out there, welcome to the Twin Flame Awakening Journey podcast, and today is an episode 76. In today's episode, we are going to discuss about manifestation and how to manifest your twin flame union, how to manifest a soulmate into your life, or how to manifest that your dreams will come true. The reason I talk about this topic today is because another day when I was meditating, I came across with an information or a download that things what we know about meditation and manifestation and all of the channeling and everything together are because of our soul. And when I received this information of understanding that no, it's not you dreaming, it's not you making mood boards and vision boards and setting up the intention. It's your soul that knows what you deserve and you're worth it. And it's your soul that starts to whisper and guide you what's going to come into your life. So that's why today I'm going to bring you some brand new information that you might not have heard before, and it can, of course, bring you a little different perspective and different ideas, but I'll try to explain this from the it's kind of like the beginning version of it. There's gonna be, of course, more information about it. I will discuss about it in the future episodes. So if you find today's episode useful, then please like, subscribe, and become part of our spiritual journey over here, and also the journey to the union. Those of you who are twin flames and listening to this podcast, often I get the question of when my union, so-called 3D union, will happen, because remember, 5D union and 3D union are two very different things. And often my answer, there are two answers. What I say is it when it's a divine timing and when it's meant to be for you. That's why I am such a big fan of meditation, channeling, breath work, going within, because you have all of these answers within yourself. And that brings me to the first thing that I discovered another day about the manifestation. I was meditating and I started to receive an information and understanding that all of what our soul tells us, or the energy tells us, is so-called the future and things that will start to happen to you. So often we try to quiet that whispering voice because it feels too surreal, it feels too unreal that this can happen to us. And so we kind of go into our mind and we start to believe what the mind tells us. Believe me, our mind doesn't like anything new. Our mind doesn't want us to go out of the comfort zone. Our mind doesn't want that we do something new. Our mind tries to keep us alive and survived here. That's it. And of course, to live here in this 3D life, because we need to also know how to cope in this life. We are having a human experience. But what happens when we go within? And this is why I'm a big fan of channeling. And I will bring this in today, everything, how it has worked for my clients I work with. Or actually, I don't like you calling clients. I like you calling my souls, my soul family. That I am just helping you to see you. Because I've always said why I'm so passionate about helping you to become your higher self. Helping you to reach to the stars that it's already written in the stars, but now you just need to start listening to this voice, connecting with your soul, and understanding why you are here, why you're having this human experience. I know when we come to the twin flame journey, it feels like the end of the world. I know that. Every single time I explain my journey to someone, or I have a call with some of you, I go back to that moment where I felt I will never, ever come out of it. This thing will kill me. But from there on, everything started to unfold. And today I have information that I never had before because I had to go within and I have to become one with my soul and with an information. So coming back to the manifestation is not you setting, I want to have $1 million tomorrow. If you do not feel the connection within inside of you, it will not happen tomorrow. I'm not saying you cannot have the $1 million, but you need to energetically feel it. You feel like your soul starts to tell you, and often our soul tells us who is our soulmate, who is our twin flame, and all of that information comes within. I'm not saying that sometimes we need guidance, especially when we have disconnected from our soul and from our essence and who we really are. And that happens because of our life. We have school systems, we have job systems, we have a lot of things around us that takes us away from our soul. And then what happens? We start seeking for the soul. We want to go back to who we are. So there's again gonna come the ego death. Some people might start drinking more or doing drugs or trying to get that feeling back of who you really are. And so what I'm trying to tell you here is when you quiet your mind, when you sit down with yourself, meditation, that's why please have 15 minutes, 20 minutes meditation daily. The more you do, the better it is, but I'm not here to say how much you would do. And your soul will start to whisper what will come to your life and what will happen. And so those of you who are wondering, when will I see my twin flame again? I'm going to tell you, your soul will tell you what is the outcome of you and your twin flame. So that's why not every twin flame journey is the same. Not every twin flame journey is happening tomorrow at the union. Although I want to say, those of you who were on a retreat, I see many of them have come to the very physical union, which is absolutely incredible. I've received 3 messages where they say, I cannot believe this. But when I did for them the channeling, I told them what's going to come. And I could see how their mind tries to fight against it. It's like, no, this will not happen. How is it happening? I haven't heard from my twin 5-6 months. And then it happens. And same with the soulmate. When your soul starts to whisper you who is your soulmate, how you're going to meet your soulmate, what's going to happen, it's going to be there. So stick with me today and I'm going to walk you through everything that I channeled. And as you know, my podcasts are in the channeling version. I'll tell you everything I receive, everything that is coming through me, and hopefully this will give you some energy, some light, and some love, and the knowing that everything that you already know will become real. Just now here is what you need to follow. So the number one thing is exactly like I said. No one will know what actually happens to your soul or to your journey except yourself. You already know, your soul already knows what will happen. That's why when we've heard so many times where people are asking, how did you come up with this idea? How did you know to do this? And often we get an answer, I just felt I had to do it. It just came from me. Like one of the best songs, one of the best books, one of the best artists are out there that they say it was like a birthing process. It came through me. It wasn't from my mind. It came from my soul. It came from somewhere that we are still so afraid to connect with and talk with and connect with. But your soul has all the information. All you have to do is to listen. Of course, how would I know what's going to come for you or what is happening? There are many, many ways. One of the things is the channeling, of course. Channeling changed for me the twin flame journey. And channeling is not predicting your future. Channeling is to listening to your soul, listening to the energy. And your soul knows so much. You just need to trust it. You need to build the trust. And so when you're receiving the downloads, that if you feel like this is impossible, this will never ever happen, I tell you, it will. And that is the so-called knowing. You know, when we all have heard about it when we are on Twin Flame Journey, for example, or any other, I would say, because I know that I have now listeners who are not on Twin Flame Journey, but they listen to my podcast because they find spiritual answers from it. And again, I've said many times, number one sign that you are a twin flame is that your twin flame triggered your spiritual awakening. This is the number one sign, because spiritual twin flame journey, twin flames, the energy is a trigger of you to become you. Only the one beautiful you, who is so unique, so talented, so beautiful. The same like you see in your twin flame. You see in your twin flame that they are something way beyond in this world. Being together with them gives you so much energy, so much love, so much feelings that you could rule this world. And that's so-called the knowing, the inner knowing. And we all have that. We all do it. We always just think about this for a moment when you're listening, and leave the comment down below if you have ever experienced that you know something without information. And then when it all happens in real life, you later sit that back and you say to yourself, I knew this is going to happen. I knew this is going to be there. Why I didn't listen to myself, why I was pushing through, why I was trying so hard when I knew it's going to happen, why I didn't trust myself. If you have had that, leave a comment down below, because this community here is to show that we are not alone on this journey. We are here connected. And the more we bring out our own examples, our own journeys, the more we realize, I need to listen what this little whisper is telling me. And I'm just going to say that this knowing what we have, and it's the same thing on twin flames when we often hear about it. How do you know you are on this twin flame journey? How do I know? And you have that knowing. You all of a sudden started to receive signs, information, downloads, and you started to hear about twin flames. When I first came to this journey, I had no idea about twin flames, and you've heard that from my previous podcast over and over again. Although, when I've now come back to my journals, I see what I've written. Thank God, thank you for sending me the twin flame to my life. I have no conscious awareness of that, which sounds crazy, but that's why I say when we do the journaling, when we connect, we get the answers. So, and what happens is with this knowing, that inner knowing that you need to do something, you need to be somewhere, it's gonna go against your logical mind. It will happen that this logical fight starts over there, that your mind says, no, how do you know this is going to be there? Why do you need to go there? What is going to give it to you? And what are the things? But your inner knowing, your soul knows. And this is what I need you to trust. Everything that you have received from your soul that's going to tell you that this is going to happen to you. This is what's going to come. Do this, go there, be this. It's going to happen. You need to trust your soul. You need to connect. And I tell you, dreams will come true. But you need to let go from the mind. You need to just listen to the soul. And I'm just going to bring an example. Let's say you're dreaming of having an ice cream. Just a very simple thing, but that can go up to the higher. You're dreaming of having an ice cream. And your soul already tells you, you will have an ice cream. But you need to go, let's say, to meet your friend. And you're like, no, I'm going to go to shop and I'm going to buy. And your soul keeps on telling you, no, you need to go and meet your friend. And so you pick up the phone and you call to your friend and says, hey, what you doing? How are you doing? And you're going to meet up and your friend gives you the ice cream. And in that moment, you realize, I was just dreaming about it. But you weren't dreaming. It was your soul that was telling you. But now you had to follow the steps. So that's why you also know when your twin flame union will happen. I am so blessed, and I am really, really blessed with each one of you who is listening to my channel and have booked the calls with me and have taken their time to come and talk to me. I'm so blessed because when I hear the stories from different twin flames, those who have met in their 20s and are now in their 60s and saying, the connection is alive, I'm receiving the energy. I don't know how is it possible. It was 40 years ago. And their soul whispers, it's your twin flame, it's your twin flame, it's your twin flame. And I'm just going to give it to everyone to think about it here that, can you imagine if you would have come to this journey, let's say even 20 years ago? There was no internet, there was no information, there was nothing. And you had to struggle through it, and you had to understand what just happened to you and how did that happen to you. And as we know, this journey is crazy. It's going to make you feel like you're going to die and you will go completely nuts. But here is, again, I'm going to say, you will know when the 3D union will happen. So listen to it, and listen to the steps. So when you start to listen to your soul, just stay calm, and then also, here is the same thing, trust and divine timing. And and many of you who are here, and I'm also going to say, because it's part of you, it's part of that twin flame journey, is going to open your spiritual awakening. And many of us who are seeking, let's say, their soulmate or dream job and house, know that it's out there already. And it's already written for you, and you need to believe and trust in it. Your soul, the energy, your soul is the energy that carries the downloads, the information. Think of yourself maybe a little bit like a Wi-Fi, that you are a Wi-Fi, or you are the electricity that knows where to go and which kind of information to give in order for this to be connected, and then having all of the lifetimes information and maybe even planetary information. We are in the very beginning of understanding who we really are and how connected we are with the universe and how much information we have within. Your soul knows what is your worth. Your soul knows why you came here. Why did you decide to take this human experience and come here and serve? So now it is your time to believe it and trust it. And I've said that many times on my previous podcast, but I'm just going to say, and I will talk about my life maybe one day in the book if any of you are interested. But I'm just going to bring it in a little bit, just a little bit of understanding. The chances of my life to turn out as it is today were pretty much close to zero. I was born into a country that was not even a country at that time. I was born into unknown, into completely unknown. Like I said, it was not even a country. It just started to build itself up. There was no financial support. There was nothing. And all I knew that but the only thing is I can say what was my luck was to be connected to the nature. And when we are connected to nature, we are connected to our soul, because everything around us is alive, remember. But I'm also going to say that my chances of becoming of who I am today were close to zero, like really close to zero. But the only reason I reached to the world and met amazing people in this world and had amazing experiences in this world, and I've traveled around the world and I've seen things, is because I trusted my soul. Did I have to sacrifice certain things? Did I have to make changes that were uncomfortable? Of course. But that's what this journey is about. And I've said that from the previous stories, where I was 16 and I was going through a very, very difficult time of my life. Both in any kind of case, financially, family, school-wise, everything. And then I found the book of the Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist. Or maybe the book found me. It was the right time and right place. It is also one of the books I always recommend to read. I have 2 books here, so it's those of you who need to understand how everything works, both ways of manifestation and as your journey and things what you have to do. Read The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho and read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Just these 2 books. There are also many other wonderful books, but just take these 2 if you haven't read them yet. And watch the magic to unfold. And I'm just going to say, and I've said that many times on my podcast before, but I'm just going to say it. I was born into the country that did not have anything pretty much. And my English back then was an absolute disaster. Is it better today? Maybe not, but at least I think many of you understand what I'm trying to say. Sometimes it goes the way it goes. But the most important is that you receive the energy and you receive the message. And I was reading the book and I closed my eyes and I told myself, one day, if I meet Paulo Coelho, I will tell him that he changed my life. Well, fast forward from being 16, all of a sudden I was 21 years old and I was living in a different country where the life took me. And I met Paulo. And I met Paulo like face to face, close to each other. We had dinner together, we had conversation together. And what were my chances of doing so? Well, my soul knew in that moment when I said that when I meet Paulo, I will tell him. So my soul was like, all right, here we go. This is what's going to come. This is what's going to come. I had to make a lot of changes in my life and be very patient. But I didn't think about this anymore. Because when I was 16 and thinking about it, I thought it's just a random dream. And I wanted it. Many of you have come across with the same, and even on Twin Flame Journey, just put it down in the comments to show it to others, to listen to your soul. That even the craziest thing that could never happen will happen if you trust and believe and you let go of it. So now let's just go to the steps. How do I know what our soul tells us? How do I know that it's just not a wishful thinking or something I'm trying to create? Number 1, I'm just going to say that you need to start quieting your mind. When we start quieting our mind, so that comes with meditation, breath work, Kundalini activation, listening to the, let's say, sound healing, all of these things will help you to quiet your mind. And then you start listening to your soul. And you start to hear the whispers of your soul that it tells you. And when you have been spiritually activated, let's say through your twin flame experience or any other way, but you are on your spiritual path, you already have that whisper that is now loud. It's like screaming on you, trying to get your attention, trying to tell you what you need to do next. What are the things you need to let go of? What are these steps that you need to take in order to have that what do you deserve and what is your worth and what will help you to serve this world? Because remember, you are not only here to receive, you are also here to serve. Whichever way you're going to serve, it doesn't matter. If you are working in a hospital as a nurse, or if you are working as a teacher, or if you are working as even a cleaner, all of these jobs, whichever way, you are serving the world because you are doing something that you are good at, you love, and you give energy through that. It's very strange that in our society we have like a negative aspect of cleaning. Like if someone says, oh, if you don't study, you're going to go and be a cleaner. I remember that exactly when I go back to when I was 21 years old. We had a cleaner in the house I was living in, and she was one of the best cleaners I ever met in my life. And she made a very, very good money because she was so top notch and she loved it. She comes to your house and she turns your house into something that is magical. And that's why I say, if you are here to serve, if you are here to love what you do, it doesn't matter of the label. What matters is that you love and you're passionate about it. And you're here to serve, not to feel like, oh, again I have to get up and again I have to do it and again I'm pushing myself through the limit. No. Start listening to your soul. And also, of course, the moment you've been activated spiritually, your path is going to open. Is it going to be an easy one? Definitely not. Spiritual journey is one of the hardest journeys, but also one of the most rewarding journeys. It's an ongoing process, and we are here to learn, we are here to grow, we are here to serve, and we are here to love. So remember that. And that's all of these things are connected to one another. But you always will have this fight in between your mind and soul. So you need to quiet your mind in order to hear your soul. And now the second part, and this is the hard part. You need to trust that new voice that you're now hearing, that inner whisper that starts to tell you things that for your mind it can feel like impossible. So here again I bring in the ways you can do this. Meditation, Reiki, Kundalini. Because we have to understand we are energetic beings. And if there are any blocks, any disbeliefs, any fears that we are holding, we need to let go of them. So these kind of things will help you. Meditation, Reiki, Kundalini, sound healing, breath work. They will help you to switch your energy. They will help you to listen to your soul and the path that you're going to have. Because the last thing you want to have on this journey is the regret that you didn't do something while your soul was constantly whispering for you to do it. And that's one of the things is what we on Twin Flame journey, we often get wrong as well, is about do not ever reach out to your twin flame. Do not tell them that you love them. Do not do this and do not do that. If it's really your twin flame, they will always love you. It's like your so-called mother in that sense that you can go away from your mother, never speak to your mother, and the moment you step into the door, your mom will love you. And twin flames are the same. They will love you. Of course, when the ego is there and trying to protect and trying to make sense of this journey and trying to understand, it's difficult because this energy and understanding is hard. But when you start receiving information, and not from your head, I know it's difficult when we are in pain. I know it's difficult when we are impatient. I know when it's difficult when we feel like I want this to stop. But I'm going to tell you how you're going to stop it. Is to go within. To start listening what it tells you. If it tells you that, let's say, you're receiving that your twin flame is missing you, then your twin flame is missing you. If you're receiving that your twin flame needs space and time, then your twin flame needs space and time. If you receive a message that you're going to have a separate life for a while, you're going to meet somebody else, then that's going to happen. Don't fight against it. You need to trust your soul because you're going to have an experience of your life. And do not put labels on, let's say, so-called false twin flames or who are not your twin flame actually. But you know what, this happens, and this I had another day, a call with a very nice man and also with a girl. She's going to come on a podcast. She's now engaged to her true twin flame. She's going to come. She's incredible. She has written books. She's wonderful, and I'm so glad I had a chance to meet her. And here again, I want to say to each one of you who is listening, you have no idea how much you mean to me. You are my sunshine. You are the one, and when I see that magic happens to you, I have immediately tears in my eyes, but I am the way I am in that sense. When I see that your dreams are coming true, when you are you have been believing it and knowing this journey, and that there is this answer. Oh my God, that's just so beautiful. That's just so wonderful. And I just wish that you will all trust yourself more and find the inner voice of yours. And I'm just coming back to this woman who is now engaged to the twin flame. She's going to come to the podcast. So make sure, if you would like to hear her story, what happened and how happened, to like and subscribe and stay tuned, because this again will help you to give you a motivation and energy. And when but before that, she had a false twin flame. She was thinking she had really met the twin flame. But I'm going to tell you something here, why we sometimes have a false twin flame. And this is exactly brings us back together of what I've been talking today about. It's your soul knowing that you have a twin flame. And all of a sudden you will start seeking in people that they might be my twin flame. They might be my twin flame. Oh, this person is my twin flame. It's ticking the boxes and everything. So you're starting to put this label for the ones who are not, because your soul knows that it's out there. I had another day a call with a beautiful man, and he met his twin flame in the 20s. Now he's in his 60s. And we had a call, and I said to him that it's not up to me to tell you what to do. But I'm just going to tell you that currently I'm receiving an information that you do need to reach out to her, and you do need to tell her something. Well, he did. And I'm just going to bring this in, that what happened was that her side of the information was also that she's keep on saying how she's on a twin flame journey, and how it's a third one or a fourth one or a fifth one. I don't know exactly. I'm not going to bring it exact story in. But she's meeting people and thinking they are her twin flames. Meanwhile, her true twin flame is the man who I spoke to. So you see how the soul knows that someone has to be it. And the moment you meet the true one, you will feel it. So that's why, again, I'm going to say that we are so worried that if it's not my true twin flame, it's all a waste of my time. There is no waste. There is no waste, my dears. This journey is going to take you to the next level. And if you have a soul contracts before who will help you to get there, who will help you to give an experience to show it to you, no, I'm not. Keep moving. You're going to find it and you're going to have your answers. And that's how it's going to be. But that's why we need to trust ourselves, not to convince ourselves. So, and here's what happens with life as well. So the same way when we know that something is there for me. Let's say if you know that you are going to one day meet this person at that time over there, and that's going to happen, it's going to happen. And again, I would encourage anyone who is listening to leave a comment where in your life there has been a situation where everyone says, let's say you were a child already and everybody said, oh, she's dreaming to become a dancer. That will never happen. She needs to go and do this and that. And one day she is a dancer and everybody loves her because she knew who she is. That's why we should not mold others. We need to allow ourselves to be us, because there's only one of us, and it's so unique, and you need to find who you are. And remember that everything is energy in this journey. Every person you meet, and even if it's a false twin flame, they give you an energy. Every experience you have creates energy. And in order to match your frequency and the download of the whisper or the things that you have received, you need to feed your soul. So think of yourself a little bit like a water glass that is a little bit water is at the bottom. And each time you have a new experience, each time you meet a new person, each time something happens, the glass is getting more full and full and full. When the glass gets full, you have more energy. You're uplifted more. So that's why every experience, even if it's bad, We don't like the bad experiences, but I'm also going to say that sometimes and very often these bad experiences are the ones that take us exactly where we're supposed to be. Here is why when our spiritual awakening happens and twin flame journey comes across, and when we are on the spiritual awakening journey, many things will fall apart. Many relationships can fall apart. Your job can fall apart. Things can fall apart on your journey. But that's part of it. There is always energy. We need to understand that when we uplift our energy, things are going to change. I kind of believe in a 5-year life cycle energy, which means every 5 years, I need to make a shift or a change in my life. I need to move. I need to experience. I need to start something new. I need to do something. And also maybe now, when I've been on this twin flame journey a little bit longer, I felt that I have that hunger for life. So I want to do more. I want to meet more. I want to read more, do things. And it sometimes just feels so sad that I only have 24 hours. And that's why I run out of the time. And it's a hunger for life. And it's a hunger of experiencing. My soul is so hungry that it constantly tells me, do this, do that, go there, be this. And my ego can come in and say, no, not really my thing, I don't know. But then I leave my ego aside and I'm like, well, let me experience, let me see. And I'm just going to say that I'm not going to go dive into too much about the negative and positive when you feel that, oh, this is a really bad thing and you go and still do it. This is not your soul talking. This is exactly the opposite, that you don't listen to your soul. But I will talk about this maybe in the future episodes. So from here, I'm going to go in and say, you need to trust the divine timing now. And here it comes the next one, in that sense that every energy that you have picked up on your journey and that you had to do, and I'm going to tell you, your twin flame union will not come when you're sitting at home and doing the same things that you've been doing before. You're experiencing the same things that you have experienced before. It will not happen. You need to start getting the missing puzzle pieces together, which means every puzzle piece is when you go and have a new experience. You go and do something new. You go and you cross yourself from over your fears and you let go of your limiting beliefs. Every time you will receive a puzzle piece. And these little puzzle pieces will put the full picture together, and this is divine timing. So for everything, that's why when often people tell me, I don't understand, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to go across the world and do that? Why do I have to meditate? Why do I read this book and nothing happened? And I'm like, no, they are all connected. And here is again, I would like you to take you on a journey. Think of yourself, how every person, how every situation in your life, both the negative and positive, have led up to you where you are today. That they made you to realize, oh my God, this is the person. This is what I have to meet. This is how it happened, because I had to meet my previous karmic. I had to feel that it's not what my soul deserves and who I am, and I started to see my worth. I had to have that experience. And then this person told me, let's say, about the next thing. So it's like a next puzzle piece. And there I was, and I met my twin flame, or I had my dream job, or I had this. We have heard this over and over and over again, where people say, losing my job or getting fired was one of the best things that ever happened because it led me up here where I am today. Changing my habits, quitting alcohol, quitting cigarettes, quitting drugs, anything was the best thing I ever did. Same way from the people I surrounded myself and who I was. All of these things, or even sometimes like a wake-up call that people who had, let's say, overdoses or something. I'm not going to go all the way into this, but I'm just going to bring it in that we have heard that where these people say, this was the best thing that ever happened to me. And also, when sometimes we have people on our journey who are just coming in, they tell us something, and from there on, everything changes. That's why I always say, surround yourself with energy that feeds you, that creates you, that gives you something, that you feel that, oh my God, I can do all of that. I can be all of this. I am. And I believe in this and I trust. Surround yourself with these people. And I'm gonna get back to this, but I'm gonna say now one another thing. We think of it, I get a download, for example, that I will be marrying at the end of this year with my twin flame. You get the download, you fear, and I'm gonna say that 2024, a lot of twin flames are coming to a union. And I don't wanna that you now will think, oh yes, this is gonna happen to me this year. I'm just going to say why 2024 is a lot of happening is because of the infinity energy. There's a lot of energy out there, and I just need you to trust and believe in it. Again, I'm going to say, meditate more. Come to my workshops. I have workshops out on Patreon where you can join and listen and do them. This Sunday when we have a workshop, we will test your intuition. We will test to see how well in tune are you with your intuition. So come and join. Discover of who you are. There's nothing to lose. Only you're going to win. And I always liked our dear Tim, who was in our group, and he's still here. He's never left. He's here always. Every time when he was in a group session, he always said, you're always going to win on this journey, even when it gets hard. And I know, here is the next thing I'm going to bring in. You are going to have challenges, whether your mind likes it or not. I'm also going to say, if we don't have challenges, if we don't have something that pinches our butt and says to us, now you have to do this, now you have to go there, now your life is going to be like this and all of that, we will never change and we will never evolve. It's the same, like if you're not hungry, if you're never going to be hungry, you're never going to go and hunt for the food. If you are not hungry of the change, if you're not hungry of things to happen, nothing's going to happen. But there's going to be a challenge. And this is very normal, because where there's a light, then there is also a darkness, which means you can feel like, oh, I can do all of this, I'm really good. The darkness must always come and remind. But you need to shine through the darkness. Darkness is always there. Don't forget that. You choose how to shine. You choose what you're going to do. And here is, in that sense, I'm going to say when the darkness comes, for example, and tells you, let's say people will tell you, oh, this will never happen to you. Why do you believe in this? Why do you keep on holding on to? Why you don't let go of your dreams? Why you don't let go of this person? Why you just don't do this like we all? Why you are just not normal? Well, here's what I would like you to focus on. Number one, again, do not listen to those who never made their dreams come true, who never lived the life of their fullest. Do not listen to those. Look at them, say thank you to them, and say, I see you on the other side. When people don't believe in themselves, and when people are afraid of making their own dreams come true, when people are afraid of what's going to come for them, they're going to put you down as well, and they will always limit you. And I had this in one beautiful soul again, and he had to go across the world for another reason, in that sense of for another reason. He is on this journey. And some people were telling to him, yeah, this is your mind that tries to go there. You're doing this from your mind. Well, today we have an outcome, and it was not from his mind. It was his soul. And so many magical things started to happen. Energy is so shifted. And I am so happy that I have met this person. I am so happy to see the change and the shift. And I know that one day we have a big celebrations. And I will tell all of you that. But do not listen to those who are staying in a mindset or in the energy of never making their dreams come true. And that's why I say, surround yourself with people with energy, with things that uplift you. And energy is everything. Surround yourself with people where you can feel how the impossible becomes possible. So make sure that when you are with people and you see how they're doing things, how they elevate things, and that's also the reason why, let's say, like the top universities in our world and so on and so on, it's not about, in that sense, that education is so much better and they're smarter people and so on and so on. No, it's the energy. And once you're there, you're already so-called succeeded because of, let's say, these labels are holding certain energy that will help you in the future. But it's the same in everything in life. So surround yourself with an information. Drop off the news, drop off the TV as much as possible, and start feeding your soul with the energy that drives you, where you feel like. And I'm going to tell you, it's so important to have a partner. It's so important to have friends. It's so important to have community that tells you can do it. You can do it when it comes from your soul. And it can get scary, and that's why we stop. But I am here, your reminder, you can do it. You can do more than you think of. And do not stay in the energy of lack, judgment, and blame. And both in the same ways for yourself. Do not blame yourself. Do not feel that you are in a lack. And don't judge yourself and don't judge others. Start letting go. They are low vibrational energies. And today I'm going to also a little bit in the sense of boosting my ego. Because another day when I was listening to this, and I've spoken about this many times on my podcast, where I said I didn't want to do the podcast. I didn't want to speak about spirituality. I didn't want to give it. Like my ego was like, no. If I know, it's great, but why should I do this to others? And I was in my training, and this is now boosting my spiritual ego, or maybe the ego, but this gave me so much, and this is why I say that every little thing we do in this life from love and connection will always come back to you. Always. You're here to serve, and you're here to love, and you're here to be the angel for somebody else. And then my trainer was, because he was listening to my podcast, and she comes across and says, you know what? I had a very stressful day, and I started like I couldn't know what to do, and I felt like I'm losing control. And then I put on your podcast, and your voice, your energy just made me so calm and gave me so much peace and gave me so much understanding. And after that, I felt so good. And this was the moment where I pat my soul, and I said, thank you. Thank you so much for pushing me over my ego of doing something. Because just hearing these words were worth more than $1 million or $1 billion, or I don't know. Like that moment was again where the time stopped. And I felt, oh my God, just my voice and just listening to me. Thank you. So I am absolutely blessed, and I am so lucky. And that's why I say, every one of you who's listening to this podcast, you are also. This year retreat showed me, after all of the things that started to happen, that when we choose love, when we choose to trust ourselves, when we choose to connect of who we really are, magic will start to happen. And I am so happy. So that's why I want to say that do not think that you only need to receive. Only things have to go your way, and this is the way, and that's the way, and all of it. If your twin flame union is going to happen, you know when it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Build a trust with that. Just trust it and know when it's exactly, and then start connecting your missing puzzle pieces. Do not sit there and wait for something to happen. It will only happen when you're going to shift your energy and starting to connect these puzzle pieces. Every person, every experience, everything is a connection of your future and the way it's going to be. So choose wisely and listen to your soul. And then keep in mind that you are also here to serve. So some days when you have something beautiful to say to someone, do not hold yourself back and say something beautiful. Say beautiful to your waitress, something beautiful. Leave a comment, someone on Instagram just saying, oh my God, you're so beautiful. I am so blessed that I receive from you so many beautiful messages. I keep on running out of the time. And I want each one of you always reply like very perfectly, and then I don't reply at all. And then I beat myself up a little bit about it. No, go back now and start replying. I just want to say that every single word of yours, every single love of yours is so important for me. And it's not for me that I need to be likable. It's just for me to see the love that comes out of you, that people can say so many beautiful things. And that shows to me who is a twin flame and who is here in a higher frequency, because twin flames are higher frequency. And if you can help somebody, help your neighbor, help somebody, if you can give money to someone in that sense that you can help somebody out with something, do it. Because even for me, I was so blessed when people were donating for my computer. You are incredible, I tell you. I am so blessed with you. And I just want to say to you, all of you who are listening and who have been supporting this channel, you are the gift of the God or the universe. And thank you for your twin flame. Thank you for your twin flame who triggered you to the point where you could no longer function. And then you found me. And I am so pleased and blessed to be connected with you. So yeah, that was for it. And I hope I gave you an overview what it means to live your dream life, what it means, how your soulmate, your twin flame, your things can come to your life. It's about listening the blueprint of your soul, that it tells you everything and you can achieve anything in this world. Just listen to it and start making changes according to. Don't make changes from your ego. Don't think of like, I'll be happy if I have $1 million on my account, or I'll be happy if I'm driving with this car, or I have an ex Louis Vuitton bag or something like this. They will not bring you happiness. I will tell you right now. What brings you happiness is you knowing who you are, and you are not afraid of it. And that's so beautiful. And you are beautiful. I just want to say that I recorded another episode as well, actually, and that's out on Patreon, which is similar to this one. There are a few other details. I had my ego battle because I was like, I was jumping too much here and there, because when I do channeling, I'm jumping. So those of you who would like to listen to the other version, it's out on Patreon. You can listen over there in case you get something else, because I don't want to delete this because I felt it already came through me. Let it be out there, but it's on Patreon in case, because my ego is a little bit hurting me. So you could tell me later which one is a little bit better. And the next thing is, I want to say that, join our workshop on Patreon this Sunday. We're going to meet on Zoom, and we have 2 time frames, one for Australia, one from the US audience and European audience. I just want to say that please sign up for my email list, because I've heard from people writing to me and saying, I didn't get an invitation, this didn't happen. Make sure when you go on my website, twinflameawakeningjourney.com, that you sign up for the email list. Then you will receive everything. And same on Patreon. On Patreon, it's easier because you sign up there and I will send you the invitation. I will send you everything over there. So make sure to sign up for this. Then if you wish to have a channeling call, if you wish to have a first consultation call, or even more calls with me in terms of finding the ways to the union, finding the truth inside of you, then please feel free to do so. It's twinflameawakeningjourney.com. If you wish to share your experience with me that you would like me to read and share it on my podcast, To the Flame Awakening Journey @gmail.com. All of this is welcome. In November, we're going to have a retreat. I think we have 8 people signed up and lined up. In May, I will send out the new information. We're going to have a bit of a different than we did the first time, because each time we learn, each time we evolve, each time we're going to have something else, and that will happen during the 11/11 portal, of course. So please sign up for that and let me know if you're interested of coming. There will be installment payments, which means you will pay 150 euros a month until the retreat will happen, which will take a lot of financial pressure away from you. And then, yeah, I think that's it. I don't even know if I had something else to say. Actually, I do. You are amazing. You are one of the most beautiful souls. And thank you to your twin flame today that your twin flame activated you. Or if you are in here in a spiritual journey and something activated you, welcome. You're beautiful. And I also just wanted to say that now on YouTube, I'm going to do channeled updates about the energies, divine masculine, divine feminine energies, what is happening. Because we have full moons, we have all of new moons, we have a lot of things that are happening weekly. And I often receive information where people say they feel more tired, they feel this and this. So I'm going to do short 10 minutes channeled energy messages for you, that you could understand that, this is collectively happening. This is what is there. Anyways, lots of love, lots of light. You are the most beautiful soul. Just believe in it and trust it.
I met you in the summer when you left, it was cold. Said we loved one another.